Fun to think about, and they did it, so we figured we would as well. Here's the teams. All 5 members of the Dream Team starting 5 are in the Hall of Fame. Frankly, almost all the rest of them are also. The Redeem Team already has one Hall of Famer, of course, in Kobe Bryant, and all the rest of them are going in. When all is said and done, the argument could be made all 5 Redeem Teamers are going in. So, Jay Williams, why not? Who wins if the Dream Team plays the Redeem Team?
Grinny, first off, can I ask you, and I want to be respectful to everybody, but can everybody just take a seat? LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Carmelo Anthony, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, everybody else, can we just watch Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant play one-on-one? Can we just watch them play to 11? Like, that would be worth entertainment within itself. It just takes me to a dreamlike state of mind if I could watch those two actually play in their prime against each other. But to answer your question, as much as I respect LeBron and I love D Wade and I know the power of that team and the wiggle of that team and the shot makers that they have and Kobe being Bryant being on that team, it's hard for me to say that that team could beat the makeup of Michael Jordan, Pip, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, who led the team in scoring. You think about the sides they have up front with David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Larry Bird often gets looked over, but he's one of the most crafty, gifted scorers the game has ever seen with his passing. It's going to be hard to beat the Dream Team. As much as the Redeem Team is kind of the next iteration of the Dream Team, the sides and the strength that the Dream Team has, I think eventually will overpower and will wear down the Redeem Team.
I'm just a believer in the expression, respect your elders. They'll be the first, and they, to me, will always be the best. The Dream Team will always be the best, whether anyone could have beaten them or not. I'm old enough to remember when players on the other team were asking people courtside to take photos of them because they were guarding Michael Jordan at the time. That was just a different cultural event, unlike anything that we have ever seen. I want to actually come to some real basketball conversation here, Jay, because something I think reasonably important has come up. I know that you brought this up on First Take yesterday, and Adrian Wojnarowski brought it up with us here, and that is that the NBA might consider, if they're fortunate enough to come back and finish this season, a play-in scenario for the final playoff spots in both conferences. They're trying to figure out how are you going to do this, and this could play a pretty significant factor in the Western Conference. If I could put up quickly the standings in the Western Conference. Okay, so this is the way things would go. Right now, the Mavericks are way the heck in front of everybody else who is behind them, and then you got the Grizzlies, you got the Blazers, you got the Pelicans. You're talking about interesting players here, including, of course, Luka Doncic and Zion and all these other guys who are in the mix here. And the question is, if you were to create like a one-game tournament scenario for those final spots, Jay, Will, I'm torn on this. Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. And I understand what naysayers are going to articulate here. They're going to say, well, what's the point of playing the whole season and the grind and the tears and, the effort put in by Memphis and teams like Orlando? I understand that. I get that. But we're not talking about a regular season here, Greeny. We're talking about a season that was cut short due to a pandemic. Think about the millions, the billions of dollars of revenue that the league has lost here. Think about the network partners that they have, ourselves, TNT, Warner Media. Think about all the brands that are paying to live on this platform with the NBA. If you want to find a way to excite everybody, if you want to find a way to get fan engagement high and extend the runway before you get to the playoffs, why not have a one tournament single game elimination series? We always think about a team like Portland. Yeah, they might have been out of it, but that was mostly due to injuries. Zach Collins potentially could come back. Jusuf Nurkic could come back. That's a team that got to the Western Conference Finals last year. I would love to see them have a chance. It would create so much intrigue and so much mystery, and all these teams being together on campuses. If that's down in Orlando, that would be the pay-per-view before the pay-per-view. I would pay money to watch these games because each and every game would mean something. And I'm not saying it wouldn't mean something if Memphis or Orlando got there, but I want to see that, Greeny. They have my attention.
I get
think
it.
It's brilliant.
I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree with a word that you're saying. There is something about the idea, however, that Dallas, which had this really good season of, however many games they played, 65 games or whatever it was, gets knocked out in a one-game single elimination by a team that was, 10 games behind them, sort of invalidates everything that we watched up until then. And I also would be a little worried, Jay, about making it a tad gimmicky. Like it feels a touch gimmicky. I'm not against it. I'm torn, I guess is what I'm saying. You're winning me over to your side.
Just bring your A game, Greeny. Bring your game. And if you're that many games ahead of other people, Luka Doncic, Porzingis, let's go. Bring it. I mean, that's what we want to see, right? We want to see the best of the best compete. And I understand it could be somewhat gimmicky. Just a different type of year, Greeny. This is a different year. This year is an anomaly. So let's have something different associated because we probably won't get this chance again.
No, I think you're winning me over. Look, at the end of the day, it would create an enormous amount of excitement at a time they could use it. So I'm with you. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.